Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's episode will be in the city of Leeds. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm that medic couch potato. I'm a medical student by day, and by night I just make random YouTube videos when I'm not studying. My recent series that I started in December 2023 has been based on places in the UK that I find of interest. So I've been talking about the history and points of interest to visit in quite different places in the UK. Today's episode will be based on the city of Leeds. Now, if I was to zoom out, here the red pin is where Leeds is, and if I zoom in, this is where Leeds is. Let me zoom out a bit more. So it's actually kind of nicely situated between Edinburgh to the north in Scotland and London to the south. Direct train links are available to visit Edinburgh and London King's Cross, should you wish to do so. Leeds is also very well connected to other parts of England, so places like Manchester, Liverpool, Sheffield, Bristol, etc., Plymouth as well, and Birmingham, Peterborough, by like direct trains that you can take as well. Obviously there are more, but these are some of the bigger cities in England that you might be interested in visiting. Leeds also has quite a good driving links, so the motorways, for example, the M1 can be taken into London as well. And you also have the M62, which you can take into Manchester. And you have the A1M, which also takes you into London. Kind of goes in here. M1 also kind of splits into two different bits actually, depending on whereabouts in London you want to go to. And the A1M also will take you up to Newcastle upon Tyne, and then you can change there on the A68 area to get to Edinburgh if you're thinking of driving in the UK. So Leeds is a city in West Yorkshire. The actual region is called Yorkshire and Humber, and it's a very big region. Incorporates quite a lot of big places, including the Yorkshire Dales, North York Moors. Leeds happens to be in the west section of Yorkshire, so a lot of people who live in Leeds or other places in West Yorkshire, like Bradford, Wakefield, Huddersfield, they're allowed to state their province as West Yorkshire instead of Yorkshire and Humber. It's possible to do so. And then in South Yorkshire you have places like Sheffield, that's the main city. Leeds is the main city in West Yorkshire. Sheffield is the main city in South Yorkshire. And then you also have Rotherham, Doncaster, as well as Barnsley. Those are the popular areas. Obviously other places as well. And then in East Riding of Yorkshire you have Hull, which is the city there. It's actually a seaside city and also has ferry links that you can take to go into Europe, especially to Rotterdam in Netherlands and Belgium. And then you also have Scarborough, and I think Whitby as well. Yeah, it's in Yorkshire. Yeah, and that's part of East Riding of Yorkshire, along with quite a bit of the North York Moors as well. And then York and Harrogate, as well as I think Northallerton as well, form part of North Yorkshire. And York is the city that gives the name to Yorkshire. Back to Leeds. It's actually built around the River Aire, so the River Aire is the river that goes through it. This particular river is around 92 miles, so 148 kilometers in length. Part of it is canalized, and you can actually if you're interested in water sports, you can, especially like narrowboat, you can take the canal route to go and travel along the Aire and Calder navigation. Calder is the other river that runs near Wakefield, or runs through Wakefield actually, and that the Aire and Calder navigation actually will eventually end up in the Leeds to Liverpool canal, which you could then take if you have a narrowboat, and and yeah, you can travel quite a long distance with it. So the image I showed you on the map is just of the canal, the canal. You can also walk actually if you don't want to use the boats, and it's quite a popular walking spots, especially during the summer. I just wanted to show you where Liverpool is. So right here, it's also a big seaside city. You can actually take the ferry into Ireland as well as like the rest of the world. So the canalways actually were quite popular modes of transport before rail lines were built in the UK, as they allowed industrial cities to send goods to um, the port cities, and you can send those goods obviously worldwide. Um, just a bit about the walking as well. The air and colour navigation, I think, are part of the Pennine Way Walk, which is like this really big and popular walking trail. You can also bike it, so cycle it rather, if you don't want to walk it, and that I think is quite a big walk trip that you can go from like Leeds to Chesterfield down here, and I think also kind of west and eastwards as well. So if you're one of the people who likes to walk long distances and like camp and stuff, I highly recommend the Pennine Way walk. I'll mention it in my description box so that you can actually like look into it if you're interested. So Leeds was actually a very much an industrialized city. So it was actually started off as a small manorial borough in the 13th century, became a market town in the 16th century, and ended up being a major production center that included quite a lot of production. So for example, carbonated water was invented in Leeds in 1760s. I apologize for the background noise. It's from the my noisy flatmates in the kitchen. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Apologize for that. You'll also hear plane noise as well in the background on my channel. I don't live too far from a airport, so you will hear the planes going in and off. I can only apologize. I could never really find a good time to record. Yeah, the noise is usually not this bad. Anyway, back to Leeds. So Leeds was actually also a trading centre, mainly for wool, in the 17th and 18th centuries. It was a major mill town during the Industrial Revolution and was known for its flax industries, iron foundries, engineering, and printing. For those who don't know, flax is a type of flower. In terms of industrial work, it's used to make things like rope and yarn. I know it's used also in like food, like baking, and things like that. And, yeah. Leeds is actually also very popular for shopping, especially now that the industries have fallen. So this picture I'm showing you on the channel is actually the Leeds Industrial Museum at Armley Hall. At one point in the 1800s, this was a woolen mill. This is actually the canalway that you see here that's going, and this is the largest woolen mill in the world at one point. Unfortunately, they don't actually make any more wool or like textile garments, but you can still see the machinery that was used for the textile industries as well as farming industries as well. And this is a listed building now, and you can actually go visit it should you wish to do so. And here is the website for the Industrial Museum. It's now owned by the Leeds Council. As of 2023, March 2023, this is the tickets. It's £5 for adults, £2.75 for child, £4 for groups, and then families ticket of £11. So I will leave the link out for the website as well that you can check out if you want to visit the Industrial Museum rather, sorry. So in terms of shopping, if you are interested in shopping in Leeds, there's quite a lot of things to see. So Leeds Kirkgate Market was opened in the 1820s as an open air market, and then between 1850 and 1875 became the roof was actually built during that, And this, I believe, is now the largest largest covered market in Europe. Leeds market has quite a few different entries into the market, and they have a lot of stores like fishmongers, grocers. They got some markets from across the world as well. Lots of like fresh produce that you can see. Obviously when they're all open. So like for example, this fruits and vegetables. Quite a few lot of knickknacks and things like that. This is what the ceiling looks like. So it's actually a Victorian era building. Lots of different hot food options as well, should you wish to buy food when you're there. And they actually have like a variety of other foods as well, like Vietnamese, Chinese food as well that you can try out. Let me see if I can do a street view of the city. So this road that I'm showing you now is the entry into the market from Ludgate Hill. When the internet loads, yeah. So this is what one of the entrances looks like from Ludgate Hill. If you were to actually go down this road, here's another entrance here on the right. If you were to go down, this is St George's Street. Sorry, George Street, not St George's, George Street. It will actually take you into the open air markets as well as the bus station right here, Leeds bus station. So quite an easy commute for those who want to take the bus into Leeds and go for the market. So the open air markets start here, and they do continue into the indoor markets as well. Should you wish to go, so there's quite a few different entrances to the market. So here's one here. This is on Ludgate Hill. This is Wicker Lane. So it's got entrance here, just past the signal lights, next to the Boots Pharmacy. There's another entrance here. Obviously quite a lot of like bus stops here. Pharmacies as well can be found outside, as well as like nail salons. The shops actually change on a regular basis, so do keep an eye out. This is the entrance on Kirkgate Street. They have like big shops as well outside, and it continues into Kirkgate as well. So quite a few different entrances into the city depending on where you're coming from. So next to behind, I suppose behind the market, depending where you're looking at, it's also the Victoria Quarter, which is a big shopping centre. It also has a casino and quite a lot of high-end and independent boutiques. So places like, things like Louis Vuitton, Harvey Nichols, John Lewis could be found in the UK. Found in here in the Victoria Quarter. This is what the inside looks like. It's very pretty, I can say. Has quite a lot of like wig shops as well. I'd also get to see quite a lot of art installations throughout your time when you visit the Victoria Quarter as well. It does have a car park as well, so if you're planning on driving in, there's the Victoria Leeds multi-story car park. There's quite a lot of car parks in the city centre, as well as the NCP as well. Another place that's worth visit is the Leeds Corn Exchange. At one point in time, this particular exchange was used by merchants to bargain for price on things like on crops like wheat and barley for like pricing. So they would arrange the price of the farmers. So mostly cereal grains that were like being sold here. So this existed for a bit, however, it kind of like dwindled, after 1870s. So a lot of these corn exchanges were then used as like cinemas, perhaps meeting and concert halls as well. By the 1970s, a lot of these places, corn exchanges rather, were appreciated for their architectural importance. and now a lot of them are still functioning as like art centres, theatres or concert halls. So this particular one in Leeds now actually has around 30 or so independent retailers and um, food outlets, and apparently it has been described as one of the 3 remaining corn exchanges in the UK that still functions as a centre for trade. In Britain, it doesn't function as a corn exchange, it just has like retail stuff, coffee shops and things like that. This particular dome, the corn exchange was actually built between 1861 and 1863. I think that this particular dome was based on a design by these French architects who designed the Bourse de Commerce of Paris. Paris, rather. Um, Let me just show you what it looks like from the outside. It's a very nice circular type building. This is what it looks like, kind of. Let's see if I can show you from the street. So it actually looks a bit bigger than what the picture shows you, but definitely worth an entry into it if you want to try some of the independent stuff. So if you want to do more shopping as well, especially if you want to shop for items that aren't just restricted to like a specific brand, Trinity Leeds is a newer shopping centre that opened I think back in like the 2011, 12. They have a lot of shops and stores, dedicated to a lot of different brands like Primark, for example, H&M. Quite a lot of things are there. It's on like 3-4 floors. A lot of restaurants as well inside that you can visit, as well as clothing shops like Marks and Spencer's, H&M, like I mentioned, Decathlon, quite a few banks, Hollister, Pandora, as well as things like Apple retailer. Now, I did show you briefly this church spire that is actually, you can see it from Trinity Leeds. It just belongs to Holy Trinity Church, one of the many churches that exists in Leeds that you can go visit. So Leeds actually got its city status, I believe, in 1893. And a populous urban centre was formed in the following century, and it absorbed the surrounding villages and overtook the population of York, which is there. So Leeds and York actually do have a boundary, but Leeds ends up being like the bigger of the 2 cities. Just a bit about the rail station, train station rather even. It's one of the it's the fourth busiest rather, train station in the UK outside of London. And I think with Manchester Piccadilly is like one of the busiest train station. Has around 18 or so platforms. It's the 4th busiest sort of London after Birmingham New Street, Glasgow Central, and Manchester Piccadilly. You might remember Birmingham New Street from my Birmingham video. The Leeds train station doesn't look nice as Birmingham New Street, but it's still a nice looking train station. It doesn't have any scaffolding anymore. I think it has been built. Like any renovations are happening hasn't built. You just heard the plane fly past. It's likely to be a Ryanair flight. They're very popular around Europe, and especially where I'm based in Poland. So this is what the train station looks like, and there are buses that come pretty frequently that will take you into the bus station in the centre. So other places to visit if you're in Leeds, Leeds Art Gallery, for example, free to enter, has quite a lot of 20th century art, mixed with like a library and a cafe. Some of the arts are there, some of these exhibitions are here permanently, so these portrait galleries here permanently. However, there are temporary art as well, should you wish to go and see them. in your own time. As I said, free entry, and 2 hours is more than enough to visit the museum. Make sure to actually enter the bottom section of the gallery as well. Next, the art gallery is also the Henry Moore Institute. Henry Moore's a sculptor who studied at Leeds College of Art. Damien Hirst, another popular British sculptor, British artist, also studied at Leeds College of Art, which is one of the universities based in Leeds. So the Henry Moore Institute, I believe, is also free to enter, and has sculptures from like different artists, as well as Henry Moore. Henry Moore is actually a local person to Leeds. He was born in Castleford, trained here, so a Yorkshire man through and through, and was popular, in I think that the 1950s, 60s. He also worked with Barbara Hepworth, who was another sculptor from Yorkshire as well. She was born in Wakefield, and one of her galleries can be found in Wakefield, and it's called the Hepworth Gallery. That's also free to enter, so definitely worth the visit. The Leeds Town Hall is also very close to the Leeds Art Gallery. It's a 19th century hall. Now hosts like concerts and comedy. I don't think it's used for any of the civic purposes it was initially built for. Very nice, picturesque place, especially coming from one of the main roads, the Hedgerow. That's the road that goes past the town hall. It's it's slightly inclined, and when you're on a double-decker bus, the big spire on the town church is very nice, picturesque place to take a picture of, actually, especially on the double-decker bus. So other places to visit as well. Once you go past the Leeds City Hall, so up the Calverley Street, on your left would be LGI, Leeds General Infirmary. It's a really big hospital. Opposite the Leeds General Infirmary is the Millennium Square. This is an events venue. Let me see if I can do a street view here. And this particular venue is used for like outdoor events. Let me see if I can. Okay. So this is the Millennium Square here. Let me see if I can go down here. This is the hospital here. It's quite a big hospital, actually. So yeah, this is the Millennium Square, and this particular building is the Civic Hall. This is where all the town council people now live. Work in rather. So if you're applying for a marriage license, this is a place to be. Marriages do take place here as well, and it's actually a really nice place to take pictures of. Let me see if I can actually. Did manage to get like a nice street view when I was trying to record it the other day. Not sure why it's not coming up. The Millennium Square as well does house the Mandela Gardens, which was actually opened by Nelson Mandela. Before I show you that, let me just show you this construction site does not exist now, just heads up. So this is the Leeds City Museum. It's again free entry and houses quite a lot of historical artifacts from like the Roman times, perhaps even earlier up until more modern times. Also has quite a lot of like zoology exhibits that you can see as well, and modern history, modern art as well that you can see. Free entry. It's definitely worth a visit to enter as well. So this Millennium Square, which for some reason doesn't want to give me, this is where the Nelson Mandela Gardens are. It was opened by Nelson Mandela, I think, back in 2001, hence why that square is called Millennium Square. And you can go and sit there, and it's kind of peaceful, but because of like the traffic nearby, it's not as peaceful as you might imagine. So then the Civic Hall, according to this frame here, was actually opened back in 1933. So the Civic Hall is this building that I just showed you, which is what houses the Leeds. This is called the Leeds Council. Okay, here you go, street view. So Nelson Mandela Gardens are kind of down here, and this big space can be actually used for lots of art installations and music halls as well. So quite a nice place. So further going towards Calverley Street will take you up to Leeds Beckett University. Leeds Beckett University is one of the universities um, in Leeds. It used to be called Leeds Metropolitan University, then became Leeds Beckett. I think back in like 2014 or something like that. Oh, sorry, yeah, 2017 I think, 2017 or 2014. That was when the recent name change was. Prior to being called the Leeds Met, it was actually the Leeds Polytechnic. So Leeds, this is like the main central Leeds campus for Leeds Backup. They also have one in Headingley, which is a part of Leeds. Let me just try to find it. That's I think the Carnegie campus. So for Leeds Backup, oh, Headingley's here. Here it is. So sorry, yeah, it's the Headingley campus, not Carnegie. Headingley campus for Leeds Beckett. Think of something else for Carnegie. So Leeds, this is like I think the older part of Leeds Beckett University. They have their own like athletics things, and I actually came here for a UCAS fair as well. Inside that building, back at school many moons ago. Then the main university in Leeds, I think the biggest university is Leeds University. That's actually quite close to the Leeds Beckett City Centre University. So Leeds University, lots of people know it, was opened I think in the 1800s as well, and I think the medical school was built in 1820, I think. Oh, sorry, yeah. So the University of Leeds was it's received its charter in 1904. The college, it was actually founded as the Yorkshire College in 1874, and the Leeds School of Medicine came about in 1831. So both the Yorkshire College and the medical school merged to form University of Leeds. You can actually do medicine and dentistry in Leeds. Heads up, you will have to do the BMAT to enter Leeds for both medicine and dentistry, not the UCAT. So do check it out as well. And typical offers for Leeds is AAA for both dentistry and medicine. For other courses, well, it tends to be like in the A and B regions. So do check out if they what course they have, what courses are available at Leeds, and if they are like the grade requirements as well. So one of the popular buildings of Leeds University is the Parkinson Court, which is kind of like it has offices inside it, as well as I think a library as well, and the Brotherton Library, yeah, is inside Parkinson Court, as well as like study spaces. So it's a nice venue, and usually for graduations, this is the place to take pictures. Other universities in Leeds also include Leeds Trinity University. That's actually kind of outside of the city centre. It's right here. Leeds Trinity University began in 1966 as two teacher training colleges, and I think they were like Roman Catholic teacher training colleges, and it merged in 1980. So the two training colleges merged in 1980 to form Trinity and All Saints College, and officially became a university in 2012. For those who don't know, in order to become a university in the UK, you had to get the royal charter from the Queen or the King at that time, the monarch at that time. Oh, apologies for my voice. Then you also have Leeds Arts College, which I think I saw it was actually quite close to the museum. There's also the Leeds Art College as well, which was formerly the Leeds Arts University, which was formerly the Leeds College of Art. It was founded in 1846 as Leeds School of Art, and then became a university in 2017. Leeds odds. Okay. Apparently, so it's actually quite close to the main University of Leeds. Then you also have University of Law, which it was called the College of Law and became a university in 2012. Then you also have the Leeds Conservatoire for those who are interested in doing music degrees, Northern School of Contemporary Dance for those who are interested in doing a degree in art, as well as the University Centre Leeds, which is part of University College as well. So, just a quick recap of other places that you should, not recap, sorry, other places that you should visit in Leeds. Temple Newsam is a Tudor-style Jacobean manor house that you should visit. It's also a working farm, so if you're not interested in visiting the house, you should definitely visit the working farm. The gardens as well, they've got quite a lot of rare breeds, ranging from like sheep and cows and pigs. Quite a lot of walks as well. I think they started charging for car park again. So if you just want to go for a walk or for cycle, just remember that you have to pay for parking. Then you can visit the land around the area, but to enter the house you will have to pay. And same for entering the farm as well. Other places to visit in Leeds that I think are quite nice. This is actually kind of outside of Leeds, but Harewood House is another manor house, stately house actually owned by the Lascelles family. The current monarch's ancestor, I think great aunt or so, possibly, she was called Princess Mary. Princess Mary, she married into this family, the Lascelles, and they are related to the King of UK. And this particular house has a lot of gardens that you should go visit as well, and stately manor, stately rooms rather, and also has a working zoo that has penguins. And this family actually made its money from sugarcane plantations in the Caribbean, so they were slave owners, and they have been trying to like create more awareness of that. So there's quite a lot of like talks from like Black History, because of Black History Month, from like different prominent people from like the Black History movement. So yeah, this is the habitat of the penguins. I think one of the penguins recently celebrated its 31st birthday, or her 31st birthday last year. The zoo, I believe, or last I heard, is going to be closed soon because they needed £4 million to renovate it, which they don't have. So your last chance to see the zoo might be of this year. This is actually the entrance into the house. It's a nice entrance. So I would definitely recommend visiting as well. Make sure you keep a lookout for the exhibitions that go on, and I will obviously put the links up as well. There's obviously more places to visit in Leeds than just like the places I mentioned. Quite a few things are free to visit, so definitely do check it out. And like I said before, Leeds is mainly known for its shopping area. However, the universities are also a big draw, especially since the University of Leeds does medicine, dentistry, and also the Physicians and Associate Masters. I'm mentioning these courses because I'm myself a medical student. Leeds Becker University actually does also dietetics masters as a 2-year course, just like the Physicians and Associate course, and you do get a chance to work in the NHS. It's a very stable job, and Leeds Becker is one of the only few universities in the UK that does the masters, so very, very competitive. But a very good course to do as well, since there's also a shortage I heard in dietetics. So if you're planning on working in nutrition dietetics, I'd recommend Leeds Becker to do your dietetics degree there. So yeah, quite a lot of things to see and do in Leeds. You don't actually need a lot of days to be spending there. However, if you're planning on visiting Yorkshire Dales, Leeds is a convenient place to stay if you're thinking of visiting. There's also a airport, Leeds Bradford Airport, which is in I think on the way to, yeah, it's here. So you had to go past the Leeds Trinity University. They have direct links to quite a lot of European airports. This particular airport, Leeds Bradford. So if you're coming to visit the UK from Leeds, sorry, from Europe, Leeds Bradford Airport is one good airport to stay in. Very small, does have a duty free, but still small, so you don't have to spend too long in the airport. One last thing to show before I break off is Kirkstall Abbey. It's a 12th century, I think Cistercian Abbey. I think I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Was demolished by Henry VIII, King Henry VIII during the dissolution of the monasteries. You do have to pay to enter this, but it's a very nice looking abbey. So well worth the visit if you're wanting to feel like historical architecture and you want to visit as well. Leeds actually does have a cathedral. It is a Catholic cathedral. Very small cathedral, actually, kind of hidden as well. I think it's like behind Leeds Museum. Let's see if I think I did find it. I can't seem to. Yeah, so Leeds Cathedral. It's pretty small cathedral. Catholic, like I said. So if you want to visit, do check out the website for their entry times as well. So anyway, so that's it for today's episode on the city of Leeds. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time for another episode. Goodbye.